two things. One, I want to do more sound testing because in listening back to that video, not that there was a lot going on standing in place, but things seemed a little quiet. So I'm doing this such that, I have to do display capture to capture this game. So I'm doing this size specifically so I can see this while I'm talking and background music or effects are going. Because I can. 2, the Project for Awesome starts in less than a half hour. So having videos for today, let alone tomorrow and Sunday, is, we'll see how that goes. But this I want to do anyway, and it won't take that long. Yeah, that'll be too much. Or I think, yeah. The problem here is that, again, there is insufficient nuance in that, so I have to kind of grab and drag and hope that individual ticks. Actually, I wonder. No, if I have it selected with the mouse, I can't use arrow keys to move it. Some things will allow that. But also the music is being inconsistent, so it's not giving me a good way to fucking test it, now is it? Well, and you are also a little, that, it sounded like it was fine before, so. But how it sounds in my ears, in my headset, versus how it sounds through my speakers after the fact. Different, which is why more testing is necessary. But this is the loud part of the music, and it's, yeah. I don't know / I don't remember how often it actually gets louder. If the volume weren't dynamic, it would need to be turned down, but, I guess this louder bit, meaning the music is actually playing, is the opportunity I needed to talk over it just to see how that ends up sounding after the fact. Because, yeah, how this sounds in my headset is the music is too loud and these are fine. But sometimes the music is barely there, so I need to account for both options. Maybe this is okay. Maybe. I mean, I thought it was fine last time until I listened to it afterwards. But this should be more than enough test. I mean, if you listen to this and have feedback, I would actually like other people's feedback on how the sound balance is for people who have, maybe different sensitivities to sound than I do. Because I know that probably impacts my judgment on whether or not the sounds are where they should be. But I turned all of those up a little, and that is probably okay. Now, what I do plan on I'm not going to do it now. It does keep that one here until I delete them again. So if I wanted to try the human bard and do that differently, I could. But I do intend on doing a little more testing in builds, because better to do it here and work out some of the kinks and how to make them work beforehand, because there's a difference between chronomancy and having to fucking restart again because you built your character in a way that turns out isn't the way you wanted to. When I do that plenty when I'm playing games on my own. I don't want to end up doing that for a game I'm gonna record. Same thing with cheats, unless I'm working around a bug, Bethesda. I tend not to cheat outright. Chronomancy isn't cheating. Opening the console and changing my stats is cheating. I don't tend to do that in games I'm recording either. So figuring out how to best go about the character I think I want to build, I need to do more troubleshooting for in advance, because I'm not going to be fixing it via console afterwards. So that is the plan here, is to do a little more testing, both with this sound test, but also with character builds. Because other than the very specific, there's a couple of locked and trapped things, or definitely locked, and I think at least one of them's also trapped things that I don't get to come back for. So I have to be able to do it myself. I don't necessarily know who I want or need, because I don't know who most of the party options are. I remember two, not counting the starting setup, which is largely independent from the rest of things. So I remember that early on, we do get a tiefling rogue, and I remember a dwarf who either is or wants to be a monk. And they're both very early in the game, so that's not even spoilers. Not really, not with how early you encounter them, because I didn't get very far in the game, so I remember that they exist. So I don't necessarily need to be the rogue. And because of the way they do the class stuff, you have your favored classes, and you can get penalized on XP if you change class and one of them isn't favored. So, and I don't want to have to deal with juggling that bullshit. But if I end up changing classes at all, I'm going to need to look at that, including with the prestige ones. Which is a pain in the ass, but that's part of why I need to do the troubleshooting in advance, because I don't want to get fucked over. I also don't remember if party members keep up with you if you level. It's not super open world, so it's kind of hard for them to not just appear when they do, at least in what I can remember. But I don't know if, say, I gave myself experience through the console to overcome that level adjustment so that I could actually make a level in the intro. I don't know if other people will level up before I've gotten to them, and in a way that I couldn't customize, because that's how that works in Dragon Age Origins, which is why I went out of my way to get people as early as I could, because I wanted to have control over how they were leveled instead of letting their predetermined path that I didn't want them taking, wasting all of those, all of those decisions. But I don't know / remember how that works here, so I don't. I don't know if that would impact how I would want to go about things for myself and for them, because giving myself experience to work around the level adjustment, if I were going to do that, might help me in the short term and then sabotage things long run, but I don't know. But so that's the thought process as it stands, and yay P4A.